Hey everybody, I'm back to do another video. Wanted to do a video of some calls that I had made today with a couple of stocks here, so I'm just going to go ahead and jump right to it. If you've seen my other videos, I'm just going to quickly explain what these lines are on my screen. Go ahead and take this alert off here, but this line, the white line, is the 8 EMA. The green line is the VWAP, also known as the volume weighted average price, and the blue line is the 60 EMA, or the 60 EMA. And so without further delay, I'm going to go ahead and jump right into SPHS, and this was today, November 17th, 2015. This is a 5-minute chart. And I was watching this one today. I wasn't watching it too closely until about until later on in the morning, because what I was noticing here is that it was bouncing off of the it was hitting this VWAP line for resistance and just kept rejecting it. But the thing that I liked about it is that it kept hitting it, and each time it would reject, it would actually not go to the lowest low. In other words, it was getting a higher low here, as you can see right here. And so once it actually crossed over the VWAP here, actually this candle right here is actually where I called it. If you are in the professional trading group on Facebook, that's actually where I called it. I said a break of $2 will actually make this go up. And as you can see, a couple of candles later, about 10 minutes later, the volume really started coming in. It broke $2, and just fast forward here a little bit. The 8 EMA crossed over the 60 EMA, and this was actually just a short-lived little pop. So you actually had to be quick in this, because it was only at its high for just a few seconds, and then topped out really at about 214. So that's probably a good place where you could have sold it. Then of course it just dropped down and then didn't do any much for the rest of the day. I kind of mentioned to look for it here, but the thing I didn't like about it right here is that there was no volume. There wasn't any real volume coming in pushing it higher, and that's kind of a warning sign. If something's being pushed up higher and there's hardly any volume, you know, that's probably that's not a good sign that it's actually going to hold its gains. And as you can see further on in the day, just kind of based along, and then just at the end of the day just kind of shot down after it based for a while. I heard that there was going to be some earnings after hours, so I'm not sure if they were good or bad. Judging from the after hours, I'm not sure if that has anything to do with the earnings coming out or not. But that being said, this may be a watch going in tomorrow. And that's another thing that I'm going to do on this video, is I'm also going to be mentioning some alerts, something that I really don't like to do too much, because anything can change on a given day in the morning. So I'm going to go to my next call that I had, and this one was HART. And you notice that some of these I've done videos on already, just because, you know, they're recent runners. So anytime anything runs recently, they're actually a good chart to actually look at, because then after it comes down for a day or two or more, it can actually start flying again. So this one I called. Let me see. Just kind of want to draw a trend line here of where I actually called it, because it was kind of weird, because right after I drew the trend line is where actually it started to break out, right after I drew it. So this trend line right here, and you'll notice right here it starts it bases down here, but there's hardly any volume. But then once it gets above the VWAP, it bases again, and actually right here is where I kind of mentioned it in the room. I said red to green. This stock has moved from red to green, so watch for volume to come in. And pretty much, you know, within 5-10 minutes after me saying that, you know, the volume comes in, and this thing just takes off. And again, this is another example, you know, basing along just right above the VWAP and crossing over the 8 EMA over the 60 EMA, and that's really where it takes off. And it actually went green, right here at 134, I think it was. And so after that, it just took off, kind of flagged here a little bit, and then just took off again. So this is actually an excellent candidate to watch for tomorrow. What I'll be looking for, let me kind of go to the daily chart here. So what I'll be looking for is a break of this high of 155, actually probably even 150, because chances are I have a feeling that this one's probably going to open up a little bit lower than where it closed at here. So maybe it opens up 145 or even lower. Hard to say. You'll just have to watch it in the morning. And my hope is that it'll actually start off down a little bit and then go up after basing for a little bit. But then these are your catalysts. This 145 and the 155, and hopefully it tops out or at least beats at least tops out at 170, maybe even goes past it. But this is what I'll be watching tomorrow. But my favorite chart that I'll be watching, and this is another one that I've done a video on a couple of times already, is HLTH. And as you can see, it's just after reaching its high at 417 here about a couple weeks ago, it's just been going down, 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 down. And the reason why I like this for tomorrow, I'm going to show you everything that I'm looking at. Basically, this stock meets all my criteria that I look for in a bounce play. And the first one is you'll notice that it comes down to the lowest it got today was at 218, and if you go back to about a month or so ago, bottomed out at 215 right here, and then just went up. This was on this candle, this is actually a good move. It went from 252 to 321, so that's a good 70-cent move the next day after hitting that 215 bottom. So this one hits 218. Let me go into the intraday here. Hits 215, or actually 218, excuse me, and actually hits it a couple times and then just kind of bases along, and it bases along right under the VWAP. And another thing that I want to show you that meets my criteria that I look for is, if you watched my last video that I made, I mentioned what I'm looking for is this crossover of the 8 EMA over the 60 EMA. And actually on this one, what I like about it is this is, like I said, the perfect setup for me, because the 8 EMA is getting close to the 60 EMA each day. Still going down, kind of a sharp decline here, but you notice that this space between the 8 EMA and the 60 EMA is actually getting shorter and shorter, and of course when you get to today, it is actually getting really narrow in here. So let me just switch to today and kind of zoom in here. So as you can see, towards the end of the day, it's just basing along, and especially the last hour or so of the day, just really didn't move up or down too much. Stayed between that 220 to 224 range, and just based out here. So what I'm looking for tomorrow, at least what I'm hoping for, is that I hope this starts off a little bit down, maybe even a gap down, and then that way it'll actually bring the VWAP down a little bit, and I'm hoping for a base along the VWAP, and where it starts to inch a little bit higher, and this 8 EMA, looking for a cross of the 60 EMA for confirmation of a bullish trend here. So this is going to be one of my top watch going in tomorrow, and also the if you notice, the volume towards the end of the day was just really heavy. So I think it may have bottomed here. Like I said, the reason why I say that is just because after the sharp decline the past few days, it just kind of levels off here this day and really doesn't move too far up or down. So that is HLTH. So have that on your watch tomorrow, and have another one here. Okay, and the next one I'm sure you've probably heard of. This one is SUAny. Again, meets my parameters. I know you're probably thinking, this is if you've heard the news and seen this stock lately, it's been beaten up a lot. And as you can see here, this is the past 5 days. After hitting this high over here at 804, just kind of been beaten to death. But again, what I look for again, this 8 EMA getting close to the 60 EMA, and I know it's crossed over a couple of times here, but what I look for are these declines. Oops, go back. What I look for are these declines where it actually starts to narrow towards the bottom. So soon is going to be another candidate for tomorrow for me. What I'll be looking for, the same thing with HLTH, maybe goes down a little bit and then starts basing, because anytime it opens up below its close the next day, it'll also drag down that VWAP, because the VWAP is actually based on the initial price of the day, the initial surge in price. So it's actually calculated off that, and if you actually Google what VWAP does, it'll explain a little bit more in detail. But again, the VWAP changes every day, and so what I'm looking for in this one is the same thing in HLTH, gap down, or maybe even starts dropping down at the beginning, and then just bases along, and then hopefully starts getting above the VWAP, and this 8 EMA will hopefully follow suit and cross above the 60 EMA. So that's what I'm looking for in soon. And if you notice that, if you look at the overall volume, I think this one had 165 million volume today. So that tells me that it's capitulated. So probably, like I said, look for a bounce in SUAny, and I'm just going to show you the month chart here. You can see this big volume spike higher than these other days. So this is another good one to check out for tomorrow. Okay, so that is everything that I have. So I'm going to go ahead and post this, and good night, everybody.